with our city monthly report, starting off with the Honolulu Fire Department.
Yep.
Hello.
Yep,
Yep, you're on.
where should you stand? Right.
Hot seat over
Right
here.
here.
Right, Chase. Evening, everyone. My name is Chase. I'm going to go over the statistics for last month and then our safety tip. So June, we had 6 record fires, 1 wildland brush fire, 11 nuisance fires, and 11 activated alarms, but no fire. For medical, we had 212 medical emergencies, 8 motor vehicle collisions, 1 ocean rescue, and 1 hazmat incident. For the safety tip, this month we're talking about heat safety. Hawaii has some of the highest average annual relative humidity in the country. When it is too humid, our bodies have a harder time cooling down, which can lead to heat-related illness. In the past decade in Hawaii, the average number of hot and humid days and very warm nights have more than doubled due to climate change and are expected to increase. You can visit this website. It's www.resilientoahu.org/subscribe to sign up for updates on heat in Hawaii this summer. It says make sure you're prepared for the heat. Certain ways you can prepare: keep cool with fans or AC spaces in the shade. Wear lightweight loose-fitting clothing, drink plenty of water, stay out of the sun, wear a hat outdoors or take an umbrella. Check on neighbors who are at high risk of heat-related illnesses. And if you want more resources about heat illnesses, extreme heat, and how to prepare, you can go to www.heat.gov. And that is what we have for you.
Thank you so much. And from the board.
Madam Chair, 2 questions, please.
Sure, Ken.
First question is, have you noticed any of more fires when it comes to lithium-ion batteries? We have more of those types of things, from the electric bikes or whatnot. Have you guys seen more of an escalation of those?
I mean, I wouldn't be able to speak to like over time. I know we had one last month with the moped shop, the e-bike, the moped shop, that one, but in terms of like a trend over time, I mean, I can try to find that answer for you and get back to you next month, but I don't have like off the top of my head that trend or that pattern
That's right.
at this time. Yeah.
And then the other question was, is it what I asked this before, with the Narcan, have you guys seen a trend in terms of usage of that, or like, you guys, do you use that for the fentanyl?
So yeah, the Narcan is used for fentanyl overdoses. But again, like in terms of steady trends or patterns over time, that's something that I have to look up and try to bring to next month in terms of like.
Are you asking in terms of the trend if we're using it more?
So like when it was first introduced, you guys had it, and then is there like, the frequency of use because of like fentanyl cases?
Right.
And you guys needing to use that, or like, officers, or, from officers to be using it because they get exposed?
I mean, can I give you a specific number, kind of what he's saying, but I could say on all of us, at least in this area for sure. It seems like it's an increase in usage, and the same word that we hear from the EMS side, those guys use it more than us. But I would say, yeah, for sure, I'm saying they are using it.
Thank you.
I have a question. Will there be any like community trainings to administer Narcan or what an overdose looks like?
I don't know of any that we have like on the books.
I don't know if there's anything in the working or talks about it.
Can you get back to us, back to the higher ups?
Sure.
And if we can have that happen for the community, because there is an increase, let's be honest. Fentanyl's here, it's probably not gonna go away anytime soon. So the more people that are trained on what it looks like and how to respond and stay safe also, and to administer it in a safe way, and then to call 911, better off we're all gonna be, and to save a life. So if you guys can go back to
Sure.
whoever the powers that may be and ask if there can be a community training or several community trainings, even if it can happen at schools like Farrington, Dole, Kalakaua. So our youngsters can also understand the dangers of drugs and how to prevent that kind of stuff too.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Any
Wait.
questions from the community?
Yeah, Angela. No, Angela has one.
Angela has one. Go ahead, Angela.
That was such a nice idea, Chair. A school training. So Angela Melody Young, board member, and I was wondering about ocean safety. So now that there was a resolution that set the parameters to initiate charter amendments, to create a separate ocean safety office, I think, is the emergency management response more efficient? Yeah, so what's it been like at fire rescue?
I mean, I can't necessarily answer that for you directly right now. I can go back to people that have been around a lot longer than I have and probably have a better answer for you. And then again, try to bring that next month. But just, yeah, I can,
It's hard for us to say, it's because in our area, we don't really respond to a lot of water, well, us specifically. So we can't say how it's been trending with ocean safety. It's such a new thing, and it's hard to say right now how everything works out.
Sure. Yeah,
Fair
lifeguards
enough.
are important though. Thank you.
Fair enough. Another question before you fine gentlemen go back to work. You guys work hard. Thank you so much for your service. For those that go hiking, there's many hikers that like to go off the beaten path.
Yeah.
Is there anything in legislation or any help that you gentlemen need, or maybe gentlewomen, I don't know if there's any women on staff, that would be nice. If there can be a fee or service charge for those that go off the beaten path beyond the signs that say prohibited, should stop, turn back, blah, 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 unlawful. When they do traverse and get in a lot of trouble, which they usually do, and fall down and break bones, and you have to do a helicopter and it costs a lot of taxpayers' money. Can there be some kind of legislation, or do you guys need help with the bill to create that there's fines and fees for people who just don't follow common sense?
I think for us, I mean, it's not so much the fee. For us, it's just awareness.
Okay.
I mean, that's our goal, is to make them aware. Like Chase was saying, it's been a lot hotter recently.
Yeah.
So, you know, be prepared. I mean, hydrate before you go. Know what you're getting into, know the area. I mean, if you're unsure if you can do the height, best thing not to do it. Maybe find a different height.
Yeah.
So for us, our goal is just awareness, making sure that people are aware that it is hot, there are dangers. If you're unsure if people will do it, best that would be not to
Yeah.
get yourself in that danger.
Yeah. Sometimes people have, you know, it's like when you're shopping, when you're hungry, when you go grocery shopping, when you're hungry,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, I wanna buy everything.
It's
And
hard.
you're like, that didn't make sense.
A lot of popular heights, you know, for tourists, they see all these different social media, but they don't realize, Coco Head, for example, it's a
Right.
very, very difficult thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people see on social media, and they want to do it, not realizing the
Yeah.
difficulty and,
Yeah.
and the terrain and how dangerous it can be. So for us, it's just awareness, I mean, we're people aware of what they're getting into.
Spectacular. Thank you, gentlemen, so much.
Very well.
Any questions from the community? Hearing none, thank you, gentlemen, so much. Thank you for all that you do, Steve.
Good night.
Okay, moving it along to the Honolulu Police Department, District 1.
Thank you.
Good evening, Chair
Honolulu.
Ibanez. Yeah, good evening, Chair Ibanez, board members, and everyone in attendance. Lieutenant Segusio, representing the Honolulu Police Department, District 1 Community Responsibility. Thank you guys for your time and patience, and I know you guys have elections today. So without further ado, I'm going to go right into the stats. So for the month of June, motor vehicle thefts for our particular section is 1. Previous to that was 1. Burglaries were 0. Previous month was 1. Thefts were 1. Previous month were 6. UMVs or car break-ins were 7. The previous month was 4. Assaults were 3. Previous month was 2. There were 0 sex assaults for both months. Graffiti cases, there was 1 this month, 0 for the previous, and drug-related cases were 0. The previous month was 3. Total calls for service for your particular area was 304. Previous month was 276. So calls for service remain about the same from the previous month. There were no robberies reported in your particular area in June, and no criminal breaches as well. The major of District 1, Major Paul Kimoto, wanted me to extend the invitation to meet the major. We're going to be at Coffee, Bean, and Tea at 1170 Awahi Street at South Shore Marketplace at Ward Villages this Friday from 8 to 10. You guys can come with you guys questions, comments, and concerns, and speak to the upper level management, lieutenants and above, in regards to any of those issues. So to echo on each of the safety tip about heat-related incidents, the safety tip for the month of July is regarding our vehicles' back seats. With temperatures running high during the summer, we want to keep our kiki and pets safe. Temperatures within a closed vehicle can get up to 120 degrees in several minutes when the vehicle is parked in direct sunlight. With people rushing and having things to get done during the day, many of us sometimes forget that we have our precious cargo sleeping or resting in the back seat. Asking our community members to make a conscious habit just to check the back seat to prevent all of these tragedies. At this time, I'm going to yield back the rest of my time and take any questions from the board members and public attendees with regards to Liliha, Vineyard, and River Street.
Thank you so much. Any questions from the board? Go ahead.
This meeting coming up is open to the public?
Oh, yeah, yes, it is, sir. Yes, it is. It's open to the public. Come and have coffee with us.
Yes,
It's
it's
from-
8 o'clock.
Yes, 8 to 10. Address is 1170 Awahi Street. So it's the Ward Villages at Coffee, Bean, and Tea. I'll be there.
1170 Oahe Street, Ward Villages, this Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Just a few comments. Number one, thank you so much for all your service, for all the HPD officers that handled themselves very professionally during the blackout period of time, worked very hard. Thank you so much. And number two, you guys had a very interesting day with the opossum, I believe, the capture of the opossum animal. And anybody who handled that, please make sure that you are safe because they sometimes carry rabies. So thank you so much.
Yes.
Any questions from the community? Thank you so much, Lieutenant.
All right. Thank you. You guys have a great night.
You too. Thank you. Continuing Honolulu Police Department, District 5.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, Board, members of the community. Lieutenant Yamashita here from District 5. I'm going to go over the stats for the month of June compared to the month of May. So for burglaries, we had 6 for the month of June compared to 6 for the month of May. Motor vehicle thefts, we had 18 for the month of June compared to 12 for the month of May. Thefts, we had 53 in June compared to 45 in the month of May. Unauthorized entry into motor vehicles, we had 11 in June compared to 8 in the month of May. Robberies, we had 2 in June compared to 2 in May. Aggravated assaults, we had 7 in June compared to 2 in May. Sex assaults, we had 3 in June compared to 4 in May. And for simple assaults, we had 10 in June compared to 13 in May. The total calls for service for the month of June is 2,769 compared to 2,914, which was in June. I just want to touch up on one of the sex assault cases. It involved a residentially challenged female. She was asleep in her tent, and she was woken up by her ex-boyfriend, who was apparently touching her inappropriately. The suspect left the area before the police arrived, and no arrest has been made at this time. A sex crime detective has been assigned to the case and is still actively investigating the incident. The other sex assault cases, the suspects are known to the complainants, but have not been arrested or have not been located at this time. And then the other, one of the aggravated assault cases that I did want to talk about was quite interesting because I just transferred from the Criminal Investigative Division to District 5, and I actually assigned this case to one of my detectives. It was involving, the case stemmed from a road rage incident in which 2 complainants were enraged with, the complainant was enraged with the suspect for blocking the roadway. And then eventually two females were placed under arrest for assault in the 2nd degree due to the injuries that were incurred by the complainant and his age being over the age of 60. But through the, sorry, what was that?
Go ahead.
Oh, through the detective's investigation, it was determined that the complainant was actually the primary aggressor and may have instigated the incident. So therefore, the prosecutors didn't feel comfortable presenting the case to the court and didn't feel that they could make proof beyond a reasonable doubt for a conviction. So the case was subsequently declined for prosecution. And a safety tip that I wanted to offer was if someone is trying to engage with you in road rage, just try and obtain the license plate if possible. If you cannot get the license plate, try and at least get a description of the vehicle, like the vehicle's color, the make, the model, and immediately call 911. And if possible, try and drive to the nearest police station to document the incident. If you have passengers in the vehicle, they could also record the incident, and the recording can also be submitted into evidence. Do not at any time roll down your windows or engage with the suspect. This will only escalate the situation. And you never know what the other party's intentions are. And lastly, make it a habit to lock your vehicle when you're in your vehicle, and try and keep your head on a swivel. Be aware of your surroundings while stopped at a traffic light, rather than being on your cell phone at all times. And for now, I'll take any questions if anybody has any questions. I also wanted to touch up on that Narcan use. I know there was I believe I read before in the past, there was a Hawaii Keiki nurses or something was offering Narcan training, but I think they were offering it to the public school staff. So I'm not sure if they still are or not, but I believe they were doing that to the public schools, the Hawaii Keiki nurses. But I'll take any questions if anybody has any at this time.
Evelyn, go ahead.
Hi, Evelyn Cullen. My question is, will you guys be having like meet the lieutenants and higher like D1, going to be having at war meetings? Did you get that?
No, I'm sorry. What was the question again?
Will D1 have an opportunity to meet the public, like, I mean, D5 have the opportunity to meet with the public like D1 has scheduled?
Yes. Yes, we do have it periodically, but I don't think we have it at this month at this time. I'll have to double check on that.
Thank you.
Sure.
Go ahead, Ken.
So I had a question in regards to Dillingham, and mostly, and this is in relation to just production safety. The reason I'm asking is there any kind of communication that goes on with District 5 and apart? Because I know there's SPOs that are specifically for it, but is there anything like, for example, the cameras that Art has that can share information or things like that? For asking this question is because for many times there's that private road that even though there was a sign that says do not cross, or no turning for that road coming from the Jolly East side, people still try to do it. And then I've seen other things where other cars are trying to do other things, and I'm surprised it's not more accidents if there were on Dillingham. I'm not saying it should be, but there aren't. So is there any kind of communication between District 5 part or anything like part of that camera thing that you guys kind of sharing from the
Okay, I'm sorry. You're breaking up a lot, but I'm just got a gist of the question. Was there any communication between District 5 and District 1 regarding traffic incidents you were saying?
No, is there any communication between Hart and District 5?
One more time. Between Hart? Oh, Hart. I'll have to double check on that. Pertaining to the traffic incidents in the area you're talking about?
Yes, because there's SPOs that are there specifically for Hart. But then, that Hart sometimes have their own cameras or whatnot. You guys share information when it comes to things? Because I've seen many times where people like, and myself, almost getting hit, or cars almost hitting buses. Many times. So I'm wondering if there's any kind of collaboration between Hart and District 5. Because most
I know that if there is any type of traffic incidents or any type of motor vehicle collisions, yes, they would contact us and we would respond to any of those incidents. Yes.
But nothing preventive.
I'm not sure if they're taking any preventative steps, but I know that they hire special duty officers to help direct traffic and help flow the traffic.
Thank you.
So in other words, I think the answer is, if I'm just reiterating what I'm hearing, there's officers that are stationed in specific areas in and around the rail line and the construction of it. But if for some reason, there's a robbery, there's a car accident, there's a pedestrian accident, there's something that is an emergency that constitutes dialing 911. The answer is, officer, I'm guessing, I just want to dial 911 and not to expect the officer that is on duty station to be at that specific location to respond.
Yes,
correct?
correct. You are correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty, just for that clarification, there is a lot going on in that conversation. Any other questions from the board? Angela?
Oh,
Sorry, Angela first.
Aloha, Officer Angela Melody Young, testifying as a board member. So, although this activity is not as a representative of the board, we just activate neighborhood security watches with our community. And we also train with the Kapolei Department of Hawaiian Homelands, DHHL, Citizens Control that works with the mayor and also prosecuting attorney that introduced the Lead and Play program, which is very similar to Neighborhood Security Watch. So is it good when community level, like people try to activate so that it's more effective and efficient for resources, right? So then officers can have a peace of mind that there are people in the community that are actively trained. And I have a witness here.
Sorry, but what's the question for the officer?
So is it helpful if the community activates neighborhood security walks and citizen patrols to increase its training?
Yes, we're always looking for opportunities to work with the community, and we cannot do our job without your community. Without your eyes and ears, it is very helpful. That's an extra set of eyes, extra pair of ears, and to report incidents that are out there. So yes, it does help us do our job more effectively.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, just to make sure that people understand, can everyone please speak in the middle so we can capture your voice and we can hear you clearly? Thank you.
Okay, and Donald, you had a question?
Officer, I live on School Street. Has the complaints, not necessarily about School Street, but the complaints about mopeds and those kinds of small cycles taking over the roadway that they're not supposed to be on? Or they're acting like automobiles instead of being little scooters.
Are we talking about electric bikes? Are you talking about? Or are you talking about mopeds?
Those two, yeah. They're
Yeah, so
taking
the
traffic.
I haven't seen, well, today is my first day back to the district actually. So I haven't heard of any increased calls for services regarding loud mopeds or increased calls regarding electric bike violations. Not at this time.
Okay. Because they look like they're, young kids taking over, wild responsibilities,
Yeah, and if you do observe violations, you can always call us and we'll address it.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
But they're going so fast, they won't stick around.
Sometimes they are, yes.
That's another thing.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the board online? No. Any questions from the community?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here and being a part of solutions, being on the board and asking questions. Powerhouses. I used to attend the meetings all the time. I haven't in a while with them, but now I'm back. And sir, thank you, District 5. My name is Tua Freitas, and I am a part of the NSW that goes around with the mayor, with the pastors, Pastor Allen, Nani Ikopono Protestant Church. And I also work with the Hawaiian Homesteads and their NSWs. I am not new to this. I am part of the Kalihi NSW. We've had meetings with Ross Malloy from years ago. Of course, Kalihi, my perception is from the mountain all the way down to the sea is all private land. I don't understand why people think it's okay to treat it as if we're a toilet bowl. My concern is I live right next to Ross's on Kalani Street. Holly Elementary School is right there. I have my service animal that has been going there for years, with or without the dog. That's where I do my laps. That's where all of us in our community go in that area. Anyway, I've been having problems with my life and my dog's life being threatened, right? You guys just gave a bunch of status about burglaries, about assault, about all these other things. And so that's why I'm here, because that just set me on a tilt. One is, I've lived the same apartment for 16 years. Pretty much a lot of people in District 5 already know my name. They dispatch know already when I call, because we're trained.
35 seconds.
If we see something, we are to say something. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And if there is drugs or game rooms, or we are to see and document and notify. Well, this has got me on a complete tilt on what's going on at Kalihi Elementary School. Number one, it's our elementary school, it's a safety issue.
10 seconds.
After this safety issue, we got things that's going on premises, of course, after hours. Yesterday was a prime example. One homeless guy was right in the middle of the field, in the middle of all of the, and no one addressed it. But when
What's your question?
I went walking.
Sorry,
to take
time,
her-
and what's your question? I'm sorry, but the question.
And thank you. The question is, how do we respectfully get the community engaged on what's been going on there, especially on the property and around the property? That's what my question is. Thank you for allowing me to ask. Thank you.
Mahalo. You can always continue.
Oh, no,
Community
we're going to continue.
Yeah.
I did notify Radiant because I need to get out and ask for help. Yeah?
No, I'm talking
It's
about the
crazy.
agenda here.
Yeah.
So if you want to continue in the community, you can. I'm not trying to cut you off.
Yeah.
We're all here because we're all from Kalihi. We all live in the same reality, but we have to follow an agenda.
Yeah.
And always be respectful. Officer, did you want to answer the question?
Yeah, thank you for the question. And you're exactly right, like how you said, if you see something, say something. You guys are taught that. And I think the community, like you guys are doing a great job getting involved. And I know you're frustrated with seeing these residentially challenged people on the school campuses and nothing being done about it. But if we don't get called or we don't get notified, then we don't know either. So like you said, if you see something, say something. And that's my recommendation too. I mean, your eyes and your ears, like I said, help us do our job better.
The principal did call that day, and then Officer Lancaster felt like, no, we got better things to do than do this, and I was looking at him like, I'm doing this because it's a safety issue. And really, it's for documentation purposes, but, okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Any other community concern? Want to ask a question from the community online?
Thank you.
No? Thank you so much, officer.
Just wanted to make a quick note, but I wanted to apologize. I got the timing wrong. I put for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The time, sorry.
It's 1 minute.
Yeah, it's supposed, so the timer is supposed to be 1 minute and 30 seconds. So from now on, we will be timing from 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Thank you so much. And continue
Thank you.
with Board of Water Supply. Thank you. Board of Water Supply.
Hi, good evening. I'm Iris Hoda, Board of Water Supply. I just report
you.
that there was 2 main breaks in your neighborhood board. Excuse me, I'm sick. On June 9th, near 20 Alakawa, and on June 15th, near 925 Dillingham Boulevard. I have one general announcement. We invite everyone to our 2024 annual Unthirsty Plant Sale at Halava Garden. That's located at 99-1268 Eva Anna Street. And this is on Saturday, August 3rd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So this 3-acre lush garden is a lush oasis, actually. It's nestled in Halava Valley's Central Park industrial area. So it's a live display of drought-tolerant and native plant varieties. Admission is free, so you can park on Eva in the street and catch a free shuttle to the garden. So the plant sale is a family-friendly event that will offer the following: a variety of xeric plants by local vendors, a team of plant doctors from UH Master Gardener Program with plant care advice and information. We have educational booths, including rain barrel catchment information. We have free soil conditioner and a Cactus and Succulent Society of Hawaii's display of award-winning cacti and succulents. So go to boardofwatersupply.com to see more, get more information on this. So please join us on August 3rd. And if there's any questions.
Some of your presentation was hard to hear, but it's understandable because you're not feeling well. I understand. It's okay. But if there are any questions from the board? Any questions from the board online? No? Any questions from the community? None. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Take care.
Board of Water Supply. Board of Water Supply. Thank you so much. Feel better. And then Honolulu Authority for Rapid Transit Parks.
Someone is representing. No rep. So, because,
No rep?
remember, Harry Cho is no longer with.
Oh, okay, okay, so no hard today.
There's no replacement.
Okay.
I haven't heard any.
Okay. So then we're gonna be going to board business annual meeting procedures. And I'm gonna move from 3A to the very end of the meeting before committee reports. But the rest of it, we're gonna go to, starting with B, meeting date, time, location, format, and determination. Anybody, any board member?
So it's the same day. It's
So-
currently you guys have the third Wednesday,
Yeah, third Wednesday, 7 PM.
7 p.m. location and both virtual component and in person. Is there any, you can ask if there
Any changes? Anybody want to recommend any changes? Have anything ready to propose?
I propose we leave it as is.
Anybody second?
I'll second that.
Thank you so much. Motion passed. C,
Any objection?
no, any objections? No, hearing none. Thank you so much for passing.
Yeah.
C, determination of board recess schedule up to 3 per year. And we have December, March, and June. Anybody want to propose some?
Propose leave it as is.
Propose leave it as is. Anybody second? Any objection?
Jack, can we keep June and December? Wait, was it June? Yeah,
December.
June, December, but have the meeting in March. So it's just 2 breaks. 2 recesses.
So instead of having 3 recesses that were allowed, Cars is proposing just to have 2 instead of 3. So June and December.
June and December.
Now you're allotted 3.
You're allowed.
We're allowed 3, but it's only up to 3.
Oh, we can have a discussion.
Yeah.
Anybody want to mention?
I'd like to, June and December being, we are a very competitive area. We have lots of issues to discuss, and I feel like having 3 recesses, tables too many things, and we have way too many things to get done.
The other thing we could do is that keeping that one just in case there is an emergency or something happens, then you still have that. That's good. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Up to the board to vote, so.
Madam Chair, through you. When it comes to what counts as an absence or not an absence,
Right.
we're to keep that, off to the side of whatever it is, how would that then,
Impact the 3 absences.
in terms of the 3 absences that we are, because currently what is it,
It's 3 absences.
3 absences within the, calendar year. From July to June. So we have, where it's only 2 meetings. 2 meetings, that is. Sorry, 2 recess. So you'll be meeting, 10?
Yeah, 10 meetings.
10 meetings. So the 3 absences. Will be the 10, yes. Okay. Yeah, one last.
Okay, so, vote for June and December. I don't know if you want to do a roll call.
You can do any, if they're all right.
Let's vote for June and December. Any objections to June and December? You're unanimous, we're gonna accept it. December. You still have 3 absences though, if you wanna have, people have lives and other things to do. Life happens.
You know, that's a given.
And that's there, okay? So then we're gonna move to adoption of oral testimony rules, public comments, 1 minute, 30 seconds, presentation maximum 10 minutes. Anybody want to move to accept that?
Propose to accept.
Any second?
Second.
Any objections?
Should I make a motion on the presentation?
Sure.
So where it's, adding the language where it mentions presentation maximum of 10 minutes. The presenter can request for the chair additional time, the chair
So
may.
within the purview of my ability.
As long as
So-
it's stated within there.
Correct. So it's gonna stay the same, but it can always be extended, of course, if their presentation is not completed, or if they have technical difficulties, which has occurred.
Chair may.
Correct. So that doesn't exclude that. Any motion?
The motion was there already.
Okay,
Yeah.
so any second,
Second.
It was already seconded.
any objections? Hearing none, we're gonna pass that. Thank you so much. Next is the formation of committees. The board may establish committees. If any board member is interested in serving on a committee, please inform your chair.
You do have safety, education, and health. Are you keeping that?
I propose to keep safe.
Okay.
I'm going to keep.
Propose to keep health.
Hearing no changes, so everybody's unanimous, gonna stay where you're at. Okay. Alrighty, next resolution urging the state and city to take proactive steps to combat illegal gambling. Committee, we had a committee, and this is coming from IEA, so there's a resolution in IEA. So we're supporting that. There was also a resolution in Mo'ili for the same thing. So anybody wanna make a motion to support this resolution to combat illegal gambling?
Yes, support.
Any seconds?
Second.
Any objections?
I'd like to make a motion to copy that resolution. And so that we can be supported from the other neighborhood boards. Yeah,
Yeah, you can work on that.
to reflect whatever it is that they're doing.
You can work on that. Any motion to accept this so far though? And you can work on that.
And the resolution.
Any objections to supporting this resolution that combats illegal gambling? Yeah. No objections. Thank you so much. I look forward to your resolution, Angela. And then, next one, let's see, approval of minutes Wednesday, May 15th, 2024. Any motion to approve it?
Motion to approve.
Second,
Any correction? Ask for any
any
correction.
corrections? Any objections?
If there's no correction.
Yep, accepted. Resolution urging for a mask mandate. I think this comes from Cards. Cards, do you want to explain it a little bit?
Hello, yes, I need to amend it a little. It's supposed, I can make amendments right now?
Yeah.
Okay, amendment to urge for mask mandate indoors, indoor mask mandate. So it's only a mask mandate indoors, pretty much.
Any
I'm
more?
sorry, I didn't hear it.
Oh, can you speak a little bit?
Oh, so the resolution is a mask mandate, but only for indoors, if you're indoors.
Any support, motion to?
It was emailed to all of you, right? So
Yeah, so the reasoning behind this is because recently we have been seeing a COVID surge, especially with multiple variants coming out. Anyone can get infected even if you are vaccinated,
This is true.
but the vaccination is necessary. So I do urge people to still get their vaccinations because it can give them safety precautions and making sure that they don't have a higher chance of getting COVID and also dying from COVID. And you know, since Hawaii is a very precarious spot with isolation and everything, we do have an aging population that we have to worry about. So for me, I intern with elderly and caregivers, and I am worried for their health. So we do, you know, encourage people to wear their masks, of course, not mandate, but we do urge them to wear their mask whenever possible, because we don't want anyone getting sick or dying from COVID. So this is my reasoning for creating the resolution. Yeah, that's, okay, that was my turn.
So what I'm hearing is that especially for those that are kapuna, those that have medical conditions, medical facilities, senior care homes, the places where people can have compromised immune systems. That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Personal privilege.
Angela?
I do support the COVID-19 mask mandate, and to raise awareness, and to educate the community of what sickness, looks like in terms of new symptoms that are evolving. So, it's very disturbing that that sickness of COVID-19 is still going on. So, yeah.
Okay, any motion to support urging mask mandate? Can motion?
Oh, motion.
Okay, any second? To support mask. Second, thank you so much. Any anybody opposed?
So I think this is just,
Oh.
it's one of those things where it's recommended obligation.
Yeah.
Yeah, as of late, yeah, it's only a recommendation, not an obligation. Yeah, yeah.
And, Eric.
Eric?
Yeah, no, you asked for objections. I would have, I probably would step back and Cards, I think it's coming from a great place. But I just, I look forward to working with you on future things, but I couldn't support this one.
Objection.
Only one objection?
What for discussion?
A discussion?
We can have a discussion.
Oh, okay. I think Julia's person.
Aloha,
Julia?
just, yes, as a matter of clarity, if it is a resolution to recommend and support raising awareness about the importance of wearing a mask if you're ill or if you're subject to being ill or like kupuna or those who are frail or have medical frailty, I support that, but I do not support a mandate or the use of the word mandate. It sounds like we're moving away from that anyway, but I just wanted to clarify.
I agree with the other board member. I think that's well put. Thank you.
Just do further clarification that it's not an obligation, it's just a recommendation.
Yes. I understand what everyone's saying and I will accept the, stuff. What was it?
Not a mandate.
Yeah, not a mandate. Will this be amended basically?
Yes.
Okay. I don't mind the amendment. I do have reservations about it, but I will agree to the amendment.
Okay.
Can I add on to whatever you're proposing? You add on to, everyone just at least, some hand sanitizer before they walk in there.
Yes.
You know? Just-
Yeah.
And stay home if you feel sick, just don't come here, just go online. So we don't have to force to wear masks. I don't want to go back to those times.
No mandate, just urging.
Are you gonna revise it and then you can put it back onto the agenda
Next month.
with that?
We'll revise, yes. I will revise it for next month.
We'll just table that then.
Table that, yes.
Okay, so item H will be tabling for discussion next month.
Thank you for the discussion.
All right,
Thank
so we'll
you.
make some changes. Okay, we're moving on to presentations limited to maximum 10 minutes. Of course, if there's technical difficulties, I will make some exceptions, starting off with Amazon updates from Stephen.
Sure.
Oh, there he is.
Aloha.
Hello, Greg.
Chair.
Oh,
Okay.
Get you on camera. Sorry. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Again, aloha chair, Kalihi, board members. I am Stephen William, senior manager, economic development manager for Amazon. I'm joined by my colleague Stephanie Kalihi, who is the site leader for our new facility in Staten Island. We're excited to be here again today, and we really appreciate the numerous invitations we've had to be here today and share a little bit of information about our project. I think the most exciting thing that we're here to talk about now is that we have a date that our facility is going to open officially. And that date is August 6th. So really roughly about 3 weeks away. In addition to that, we are planning to have a midway or groundbreaking, ribbon cutting ceremony on July 31st That ribbon cutting ceremony will be between 10 a.m. and 12 noon on August 31st. And again, we're just really excited that we're able to move forward. I think probably the most important thing that I'm really excited about sharing is that we've selected a new site leader, a site leader who has history, background, family, and is growing up here on Oahu. And what I'd like to do is turn over to her to really talk a little bit about herself and give you kind of an update of where the site is, where the facility is, and also an update on the hiring. So Stephanie.
Yeah, for sure. Aloha, everybody. My name is Stephanie Kalihi. I'm actually originally from Nanakuli, so that's where I graduated from back in 2011. So proud Golden Hawk, but I'm super excited that our building is here in this area. Little bit more about me. I've worked for Amazon for a little bit over 4 years, but have finally been able to get back home with this building launching. Majority of my team and our leadership team actually is from the island as well. Also, a vast majority are either Polynesian or Native Hawaiian. So a lot of us are just coming back home, which is really cool. We're very excited. Actually, a couple of the members up there are from my team as well. You see Andrea Motuki and Aliana Morenas. She's also on too. So very excited that our team is coming home. Like, this is a big deal for a lot of us. So we're excited. And that is launching in 3 weeks. From a hiring perspective, typically what you'll see is on Fridays, a lot of our positions have been opened. And then on Saturday, they're immediately filled. So lots of excitement surrounding the building, lots of excitement surrounding like just the benefits that Amazon brings overall in general. So we're just super excited that we can bring that to the community, to the economy, to the population. A lot of what we want to do is make sure that we're extremely respectful of our people, our land. That's important. So we're doing numerous trainings as well for our entire leadership team, connecting with like CNHA and a couple of other things. We also have a lot of like volunteer events. And so as the community is interested and has opportunities for us, like we would love to hear different opportunities. We're partnering with like Hawaii Land Trust, the Hawaii Food Banks. We have a couple that we're going to be volunteering at all around the island. So really our goal is to be good partners. So that's kind of why we're here today as well. We want to support the community in whatever way we can. So there's lots of conversation and lots of ideas that like our team has, because again, a lot of our team is from here. So this is really important for us. But yeah, we're just excited in general. So our hiring is still going on. Every Friday, you'll see those postings go up. And then we also have a delivery service partner program. So basically entrepreneurs from the island that are our partners in actually delivering. So they've been hiring their drivers as well. So that's been going on for the past couple of weeks. So we've had lots of activity. I'm sure if you all have driven past the building, you're seeing a ton of vehicles, lots of our vans, lots of our people that are at the site.
Evelyn mentioned her neck of the area, like Kalihi. So she has a lot of issues. Yeah.
Lots of way actually.
Yeah.
So a lot of it like directly impacted, like today I drove on Oliki Street and I saw there's now people walking around there. So I'm like, well, that's management. Yeah, they're getting ready to start. Then I see the vans being serviced at Capone, being on the street, blocking one lane on Kalihi Street. So.
Well, those are things definitely, when you see things like that happen, definitely let us know. And I think, as Stephanie mentioned, our goal is to be the best neighbor partner we can be. And so one of the reasons why we want to, continue to, be here at these meetings is that we want to hear your voice. If any issues arise, particularly as we begin to launch the site and operate over the first couple months of the fall, we certainly want any feedback that you have on anything that you see or happens. And so, again, the goal is to be, ultra, very responsive and again, do everything we can to be good neighbors and good partners.
I think Ken and I, we worked hard on continuing that was 403 to come and make sure that they come in front of your place in case people needed a ride to work, to and from work during certain hours. So,
it's only the number 10 really stops.
Number 10, but there's another one.
The original intent of when I went pushing for that route was I wanted something that was gonna go from town that would also go through Kalihi area as opposed to just be like the 10 where it's just at the high school, if you rode in that area, and then just goes down.
Mhm.
But actually has, this full service of going from town in those areas, people live, even though it's mostly considered commercial, and then, have an avenue, additional avenue when it comes to public transportation and transit.
Does our 306 service down there?
306, is that the number? Yeah, I think so, 306, the more
It's still there.
For critical rate, we're taking them from the transit down to there. Because
Yeah.
Plenty of the
And
workers.
the passage Kalihi Village.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to serve.
Employees from there.
Okay, I'm gonna try to like,
Sorry.
Yeah,
Stick out.
sorry, we have like 3 minutes, 40 seconds.
yeah, so any more time that you need for presentation or explanation?
Uh,
Because you have 3 minutes for you.
Yeah, well, I think the only thing I want to mention is that, Chair, what I will do is I will forward you the links to the hiring websites. So if, if anyone wants to access that, you'll know exactly, they can go take a.
And that be forwarded to Zoidel
Okay.
for distributions. Everybody.
What
can get
about
that.
people who don't speak the language, like
Oh.
Hold on.
There's people workforce housing in the area, because I know in Seattle, like Amazon Gold, right next door, they provide for a place for people who live and work, right?
Yeah, that's a homeless shelter that we partner with some time ago in Seattle. So that's a little different, a little unique, primarily because Seattle's kind of our home base. But in terms of, so about 3 weeks ago, prior to starting the hiring process, and this is something that we've been working on probably for the last, several months, is that we've been working with local nonprofits who serve a variety of different communities, and really working with them, training them and working with them to teach their clients how to access the Amazon job portals once they come online. And so we had that, what I would call a webinar 3 weeks ago. And I think we had about maybe 26 different organizations that were part of it. And we did this in partnership with the Hawaii Chamber. And so they were online with representatives from Amazon to kind of go through the whole, basically Amazon 101 in terms of how to apply, what the benefits are like, answer any questions, so that when you talk about selected populations, the goal was that we wanted to use nonprofit partners to really funnel their clients to the website. And so if, for instance, if it's a nonprofit that work with impacted youth, so we had several of those, and I don't have to list the names, but I'll make sure I'll get that to you. But the goal was to reach out to a whole range of nonprofits who serve a different clientele so that they would know about the job opportunities and know how to access the website.
Nothing on site, like people can walk up and take part because not everyone is like computer savvy.
No, it's completely web-based hiring process, and it as Stephanie pointed out, it actually really, we try to make the barriers to work for Amazon really fairly pretty accessible. And what I mean by that is it's the requirements are not what I would call the very straightforward. To work for Amazon specifically, all you have to be is 18. You actually don't even have to have a GED. That's something that we actually don't get paid for. I don't know.
Oh, fantastic.
And if you want to go get a college degree, we have a program called Career Choice that will, if you want an associate's degree and a 4-year college degree, we'll actually support that.
Wow.
I think it's about $5,200 a year for a full-time associate. And we have a partnership, which we'll talk about later, with the University of Hawaii, as well as Honolulu Community College. We really work pretty hard to get them on board in the program.
Excellent.
So that, and they'll be at our ribbon cutting event. So we've already kind of set the rules in place for anyone that wants to work with that. We take you where you are. We work with you and we invest in you and help you grow. And Amazon is not, some people use it as a warehouse job, but it really isn't. We look at it as a window of opportunity.
Right.
And so as an employer, our goal is to be the best employer on the planet. And so as part of that, we know that we have to invest in our employees. The thing I really love about a Career Choice program is that a lot of tuition program, you actually have to pay the cost up front, whereas the employee does, but in our case, we actually pay the cost. So really, once you sign up after 90 days of Amazon, you can take advantage of Career Choice. You go online, sign up for your classes, you don't have to spend $1. Anything above the $5,000, you have to pay for yourself. But the initial cost for taking 2 classes. Amazon will put it breaking out.
Wait, sorry, 250, can you repeat that again, the 250 part?
I'm sorry, I can.
The 250 part?
The 250 part, I kind of blanked out on that.
That's $5,250 a year.
Yes.
For a full-time associate, that's how much we contribute toward their college or.
5,200.
And it could start with is taking classes to get the GED, they'll pay for that, obviously, in college, and then, they, for the institutions.
Does an entry-level position pay a living wage? Comparable to Hawaii?
Well, I think our approach, particularly being alternate so in Hawaii, is that we're probably be the highest paying facility.
Wow.
We're pretty close to that.
Spectacular. I know. Your time has got over 10 minutes. One more minute, something that we need to still share, because this is an ongoing conversation, not just a one-time thing.
Yeah, I just wanted to address your question about the pay. So the nice thing about the state, of course, is everyone can see our pay that's listed online as well. So if you look on Amazon Jobs, like our starting pay is at $22, but the majority of our shifts are over $24.
Fantastic. Thanks. Any questions from the board? Eric?
Hi, yeah, no, Eric Irwin from the board. I think that tuition assistance program is fantastic. I actually got my associate's degree paid for by the factory I worked in too, so I have a soft spot for that, and I think it's wonderful. One of the questions I had though, and these are statewide benefits you're describing, which are great, but I think that the impacts of the center are felt in Kalihi-Pālama. Do you have any Kalihi-Pālama specific betterment projects for the community there that are kind of bearing the brunt of the increased traffic, et cetera, like board member Cullen?
Well, I think Stephanie spoke to that earlier in the sense that we're starting to identify community partnerships to be involved in. And a lot of that is really taking the time to kind of understand what some of the needs are. And I think that's going to be a training process.
Better vet it out. Yeah, understood.
I might have missed that. I do apologize, but thank you.
Thank you so much, Erwin.
Oh, sorry, just one more question, but do you have any other meetings or any accessible formats to how we can know this information that you just shared with us? Besides neighborhood.
I think we're pretty open, so I think, I know we, now that we're kind of moving closer to, launching the site. I mean, one is that we can do an FAQ, we started an FAQ, but we can update that has some of it. I think what we've already shared has some of this information, but now that we know we're opening, we have an idea about what the hiring is going to look like. So I think maybe the best thing to do is kind of update that FAQ, make it much more detailed that talks about the specific benefits and information about how to access the respective website, hiring portals, things like that. So maybe that's probably the best approach.
Yeah, I mean, our on Amazon, like if you're looking for just like benefit information, we have that listed there. But everyone that works at our site, we also have been working with our benefits specialists as well to make sure that it's very clear, like here specifically what is offered, to make sure that everyone knows, because it varies, right, state to state and then location to location. So specifically at the site, we have a lot of that information to provide for our team members who are coming on, but from like a website perspective, I don't think we have anything for the site specifically outside of Amazon.
I believe Amazon is building into the community to be a part of the community and not to take them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With that being said, I'm looking forward to ongoing conversations that are transparent, because these conversations have thus far been as such. So please continue to also work with the nonprofits, because they do a lot of outreach to the community at many different levels, from food security to housing, homelessness. So please do continue to come back to our neighborhood board meetings.
Chair, I have a question that doesn't have.
One
to be
more
answered.
question and
It
that.
doesn't have to be answered right now. The question is, thank you, by the way, is, when it comes to, because there's gonna be a lot of traffic, a lot of wear and tear on the roads, is there anything you're working with, let's say, the IPO, the Metropolitan Planning Organization, under the CAC, those types of things through the Department of Transportation and DTS. You don't have to answer it now, but you guys working with that. You guys can, you can.
Back.
This
So
is
back
back,
to the next
back.
meeting. It's been a lot. We're gonna let you simmer on all that information.
Sure.
Please come back next month.
Angela has a question, sorry.
The rate cutting July 31st.
One more question from Angela and I have to.
Sorry, I do have a question, Madam Chair. I'm sorry, I had my
Okay,
hand up
Delia?
for a little while. I
Okay,
apologize.
here.
Just really quickly for our presenters. I'm sorry, Angela. It's a little cutting in and out, so I apologize if I'm cutting over anyone. And a quick question for our presenters as it relates to Board Member Irwin's questions about providing supports for the Kalihi-Pālama community. And your response was that you're still vetting and kind of getting to know the community. Is there any way that community members, particularly nonprofits and others, can reach out to so you can learn more about them? And if so, what would that contact information be for the community members listening in? Mahalo.
Good question.
Well, we do have a community engagement team, and unfortunately, our lead for Hawaii couldn't be here today. But we can connect, we can provide this contact information, and also you can actually reach out to me directly to get this stuff out partly. So together we can kind of, provide any kind of connection that's necessary within the local neighborhood-based nonprofits, and we can certainly connect them with that community engagement team.
So that sounds reasonable. Angela, last question.
Trends in culture will set the stage for organizational structures, types of technologies, management strategies, and processes for businesses. And when businesses work with governmental, city and state resources, I think that's like the best sort of relationship. So the facilities, which is the meeting operation for the community, I really want to see the advertisement for the hiring process. So please show us. And also, when the city and the state work well with businesses and don't try to push out an entity, because that's very close-minded and very technical way to think that the city, the state, and the business can operate separately, right? So it's better when people work together. So yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Okay, thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much. Please come back next month. This is an ongoing conversation with the community. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ken. We appreciate it. Thank you. So, what you're saying.
Thank you. Next presentation is from the bus services changes. Jay Izusa,
Hi.
Department of Transportation. Yes.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Is it all right if I share my screen?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Okay, can you see that all right?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Jay Gusa. I'm with the Department of Transportation Services, and I'm here to share some upcoming service changes for the bus that's going to take effect on Sunday, August 18th. So I'm going to start with the current Route 9 and Route 7. This is the Route 7 that goes through Kalihi Valley and up to Kamehameha Ford Road. And then Route 9, which travels between Pearl Harbor and Kamaki'i. So what's changing? Route 9 is being discontinued. There will be no service on Valkenburg Street and Center Drive. Some alternate routes along that whole corridor. Route C, which covers Dillingham, downtown, and Ala Moana. Route 1L covers Radford Drive, Kalihi, and downtown. Routes 2 and 2L, they cover Kalihi, downtown, Waikiki, and KCC. Route 3 covers downtown, Ala Moana, Kaimuki, and KCC. The new Route 7, which I will go over in just a bit, that will cover Kalihi, downtown, Ala Moana, and Kaimuki. Route 13 covers downtown and Ala Moana. Route 20 covers Nimitz Highway and downtown. And routes 40, 42, and 51 travel between Nimitz Highway, Dillingham Boulevard, downtown, and Ala Moana. And then finally, Route 52 covers Dillingham Boulevard, downtown, and Ala Moana. So the current Route 7 will be split into two new routes. It's the new Route 7 that goes between Kalihi and Kahala, and the new Route 7, which will cover Kamehameha 4 Road and will travel to Kalihi Transit Center. So this new Route 7, the service areas are Kalihi Valley, Kalihi-Pālama, gonna go through Iwalei, downtown, Chinatown, Ala Moana, Kaka'ako, Kaimuki, and end at Kahala Mall. And I just wanted to mention that Kalihi Street will be served only during the AM and PM peaks between Dillingham and North King Street in the Malkabon direction only. There is a shuttle for this Route 7. It's going to be operating during the AM and PM peaks. It will provide extra service for Kalihi Valley, and it will just go between Kalihi Valley and Dillingham Boulevard. The span of service for this new Route 7, on weekdays, it will operate between 4:30 a.m. and 11:15 p.m. And on weekends, from 5:45 a.m. till 11:15 p.m. The frequency will be weekdays, AM and PM peaks will be 15 minutes. That includes the shuttles. Base period will be 30 minutes, and nights will be every 40 minutes. For this new Route 7, travels between Kamehameha 4 Road and Kalihi Transit Center. The service areas are Kamehameha 4 Road, School Street, Gulick Avenue, Mokawea Street, Dillingham Boulevard, and Kalihi Transit Center. The span of service will be weekdays from 5:15 a.m. till 11:30 p.m., Saturdays from 6 a.m. till 11:30 p.m., and Sundays from 6:30 a.m. till 11:30 p.m. And this will operate every 40 minutes. So this is a map of the new routes. So the pink is the new Route 307, the Kamehameha 4 Road, down to School Street, down Gulick Avenue. It goes a little on King Street, then down Mokawea Street, down to Dillingham, and ending at the Kalihi Transit Center. The opposite direction will just mirror what I just said. And for the Route 7, gonna go through Kalihi Street, Kalihi Valley, all the way down Likelike, and then it will overlap with the Route 307 on Mokawea Street. So if anybody from Kamehameha 4 Road would like to travel into town and use this new Route 7, they can transfer on Mokawea Street. From Mokawea Street, it will go down to Nimitz Highway, which will travel this way through Iwalei, and then it'll go through downtown, and it will travel on Queen Street all the way to where it changes to Waimana Street, and then go through Ala Moana on Kona Street, and then it'll come back onto Kapiolani Boulevard, which will continue eastbound on Kapiolani until it turns into Wailai Avenue. And then from Wailai Avenue, it's going to go into Kamaki, turn down Cocohead Avenue, and then onto Pahoa Avenue, which it will travel until it reaches Kahala Mall. So it'll turn left onto Hunakai Street, and it will terminate behind Kahala Mall there. And to turn around, it's going to loop around the block and then travel the same direction, same route going back for the most part. And this dotted orange is the shuttle. So it's just going to travel between Kalihi Valley and then into by Dillingham, and then just loop around and go back. The rest of the changes that are upcoming are not really in this area. It's more in town and like Aina side. So I'm not really gonna cover that, but unless do you want me to?
Not necessary.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that covers all the changes that are affecting the Kalihi-Pālama district. So do you have any questions?
Any questions from the board? Ken?
Thank you for the presentation. I have two questions. The first question is, what was the reason for the change in the first place from route? Was it more financial, money? What was the actual rationale behind that? That can be said. Also, too, is because we have a lot of personnel that do rely on that bus because through Pearl Harbor. And, just so, I don't know if there was any kind of thought process behind things like that. And there will probably be more persons because the fire docs are going to be more individuals as we go along, fairly shortly. So I just wanted to know kind of first the rationale, and then the second was there any consideration for any federal money that could have come because of the federal mandates dealing with using more public transportation, especially on military bases?
Sorry, it was kind of
You gotta
garbled.
move it
I
closer.
didn't really hear your question.
Sorry. So the first question is that what was the rationale for moving the route from what it was? Was it just something because it wasn't making money in that sense? Was it because it didn't have that much ridership? What was the actual reason for changing? Second thing is that was there any consideration given to, the ones on Pearl Harbor and the individuals that use it and possible increase in individuals using it because of the higher levels of activity that's going to be going on?
Okay, so I heard the first part, the rationale. So I'll answer that. And I still didn't catch the second question, but let me cover the first question first. So the rationale behind these changes, it's a combination of a lot of things, but we are trying to reduce redundancies in our system. And by making these changes, it allows us to reallocate resources to areas that need more service. And Kalihi there's a lot of transit ridership in Kalihi, so we wanted to provide them with extra service and a service that they don't have to transfer to go into town. I know Kalihi Valley it's really heavy, the ridership in there, so that was the reason behind creating this route traveling all the way into town. So sorry, I didn't catch any of that second question.
The second question was because this route, a lot of people who would work at, let's say, Pearl Harbor or whatnot, the PH1s and 6s, those are really early in the morning. But, the regular night route would go inside Pearl Harbor, given to the dry dock area. Was there any consideration given to that when it came to this route, or was there, any thought process in terms of what impact it would have?
Okay, yes. So yeah, we did review that part. So Route 9 only traveled into Pearl Harbor during the peaks, and ridership was actually pretty minimal. So that was part of the reason why we decided to discontinue that side of the route.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Jay, I know this is gonna be a while away, a ways away, a couple of years down the line, in fact, but it's not bad to sometimes bring things up to keep it on your radar. So when the new OCCC does get moved to Halava, right now in Halava, there is no bus at all. So somewhere down the line, when that does get constructed, because there's gonna be work furlough programs, there's defendants that have to go to and from work. So can you please keep that in mind when the OCCC does get built in Halava, because that will happen, that there's a bus system for the inmates to go to and from work, because right now it doesn't exist at all.
Yes, we can definitely keep that in mind. Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the community? Hearing none, thank you so much. Thank you for the presentation, Jay.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, see you next time. Okay, residents and community concerns, 3 minutes each. Anybody?
Anyone?
Yeah, can be anyone.
Yeah, well, no, I'll go if no one.
3 minutes each. Your time will start as soon as you mention your name.
Share the presentation for our concern because I have the.
That's fine.
Yeah. Go right ahead.
Okay, and the evidence. Just share it from.
Oh, can we pass the camera so we can get her on camera? So can we pass it?
Hey, it's wired.
You good?
Ask her to come in this.
Can you come here, Angela? Yeah, so
or whoever to speak.
Angela, if you're sharing, go over there so we can get you on the camera as we're asking. When you're done, I'm gonna take my 3 minutes and I'm gonna share.
So all they have to see is your concerns, right? So these are the photos. And then I will go.
You're running on the time.
So you can talk about the concern and then, okay, so basically, there's a concern at Kalihi-Pālama Elementary School. And then Joy's gonna share. I have photos and so at the Kalihi-Pālama Elementary School, there's trash, so environmental hazards, and then also it's caused by crime. So there's been ongoing discussion of the school staff and then also the neighbors. And there's been a lot of like drama back and forth. But then the thing is, the public has the right to access the school property, right? Because according to the state law, if you read the state law worded by statute, 302A, and also the Hawaii Administrative Rules, schools are for public access, and it is encouraged to use schools for recreational purposes, general recreational purposes, as long as it does not interfere with school and student activity, okay? So if the school is not being cared for by the staff and then there are no funding resources, and now all the crime that's taking place on school property is affecting the neighbors, such as PUA, is there a way that we can activate resources, right? So that there can be a happy collaboration.
Are you finished, Angela? And then it's
Also, there's a vegetable garden on the school property. If you take a look at this, okay, that is a chicken farm and a vegetable garden. Okay, that's what's happening there on school property. And there's all that trash and homelessness, okay? And break-ins, okay? Okay.
Okay.
Done?
She's done in
Oh, okay.
3 minutes for,
Thank you.
yeah, so start her and then.
So is that 3 minutes? Thank you.
That was 53
That was
seconds.
53.
What's that?
Are you gonna talk 53 seconds more? Sorry.
Oh,
She has
okay.
full time.
So also, if you look at this, I did kind of like a very, just a little resolution. It's just an idea, okay? So we can go over it, okay? So the concerns creates chaos for the school staff and the surrounding community. The list of concerns include feral chickens, rotisserie kittens, trash, damaged fencing, overgrown weeds, abandoned cars, trespassing, vandalism, drug abuse. And the boundaries of the school property causes confusion to the general public, okay? So a lot of people traverse it, and there are environmental pollution concerns because the trash is very hazardous for the students.
15 seconds.
Okay, so with cooperation, right, they can do an extension of the community garden and the vegetable garden, right, to teach students about cooperation, teamwork, plants, fruits, nature, and cycle of life.
Thank you.
And then, thank you so much, Angela. And then you have full 3 minutes as soon as you mention it.
Thank you. My name is Paul Freitas. I live for 16 years on Kalani Street and Mokua. 2 minutes away, walking distance from where I live to that school. My grandchildren attended that school. They're all in college now. What I'm experiencing is overgrown grass, that chicken coop on top of the premises. I asked for a walkthrough because I'm trying to understand why we have tons of feral cats and feral chickens, and people are stopping by to feed it as if it's their own personal garden. The problem is somebody threatened the life of me and my dog over a feral cat that's playing. I have mine is a service animal. That's not the point. I didn't bother with planning stuff. Our homelessness is, they sleep in the bushes. I'm 5 feet. The bushes is 4 feet tall. I didn't even know a man was in the bushes and my baby went to go shishi and I was like, and he moved his feet. Super scary. But what's more scary is that they're everywhere. And because nobody addresses it, nobody secures, we pay taxpaying dollars to a security firm that is to take care. And that's one of my other questions is, do they just sit in the parking lot or do they just watch the buildings? Or do they take care of the whole perimeter, which is really small compared to other schools, just right here in the area? Okay, yeah, so, and because I don't, right?
Yeah.
My first thing, I was so upset because of the trash. I found a shovel. The trash is a safety issue here with these people, right? Like that guy was giving me a bad time. I looked down and I was gonna pick that up to defend myself. Is this okay? Now, I approached the principal, because to me, you don't go outside, you go approach mom and dad, we'll talk about your issue and let's work it out. I am here because of all these things. There was a dead cat and a dead chicken on the premises inside. The cat was right by the Pu'uhale sign on Mokuea Street, where everybody, so Mokuea, Pu'uhale, you come in from Pu'uhale and you exit out on Mokuea Street. Nimitz is the other corner. I know all of you are familiar with it. The problem is, if staff is coming often on the premises, how can you not smell it? But my problem is the children, they all walk down or pass, and this dead animal was there for almost 2 weeks. I had to make such a big fuss because I didn't understand why the dead chicken and the grass, I got way better pictures. And I sent them to Radiant because I was like, you know what, just look at this. I don't understand.
I'm gonna let you finish your thought, but
Please, what I want is, how do we address this? Not to come and attack anybody. How do we help? Why do we have that chicken coop with the 50,000 trash can of cat food?
This rep is on.
Oh my God. The chickens are digging so much into the ground that my foot fits in that.
Can we have somebody from the state respond because it's.
Yes, yes. And that's why I'm here, first to make everyone aware. Because that's what I'm trying to reach out. How do we go about this? Not to bash them. Can we help them to be a solution? I just don't know who in the state,
Angela.
because that walkway,
Stop sharing so when we can see the,
on the walkway, there's a section, the cattle guard gates, where plenty of the people go, but that's where a lot of the homeless in that area, and right on the outside of that gate.
Angela, can you stop sharing
I'm
so
gonna
we can
stop
have a
sharing, but
response?
that's just a proposal of the resolution to
Angela.
help this concern.
But we need the state, somebody from the state to respond because we are hearing her, but we want someone from the state to respond.
Okay,
Is Glenn, is Sunny down again on?
actually it's Kalihi. W's rep is on. So ask for Dre.
Is Dre here to respond to the community concern? Sorry.
Hi, aloha, this is Dre Kalihi, Governor's Rep. This is
Thank
something that I don't, because I'm not with Department of Education, I can't respond at the moment, but happy to go through the Department of Education and get a response, and I can provide it to Zoidal. And if he can provide it to the board and to the community member.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, Dre, real quick. I want to make something very clear. Principal Feliciano has been, she's been making changes. She has been honoring what I've been asking. Ever since they went cut the bushes, now they look and hide. The feral cats cannot hide in it. The chickens cannot hide in it. The homeless cannot hide in it. So there is good movement. But my part is if we get a bunch of people, including the inmate work, outside work line, just go in and just cut them everything down. Because it cannot be just for today. They're short of staff and they don't have enough funds. So I've understood that they've been trying to work on it. And all I like is when solution, together as a hand, I'm not coming to bash her or her employees because they work hard.
Yeah, everybody works hard.
That's right, but they cannot keep up. But I'm trying to figure out why get trash in that same playground right next to the courtyard where the kids go play basketball, ride their bicycles, where they can get cut by the cans. None of the staff picked that up. I still walking over there. That's why I wanted you to come and join me and do my laps and walk to see for yourself, because some places where the kids play, the holes are so big from the chicken, they can break the ankle. We're talking safety, liability, and environmentally, it is so pila. I just don't even understand how it managed to get that far.
Okay.
Dre, and not been taken care of for years.
Okay.
But we can't do anything at this moment.
No.
We gotta give Dre some time.
But to hear
work on it.
So much stress.
Yeah, we get it.
And so can I have your, did you sign in and put in your contact?
Yeah.
So once I get a, word from the governor's rep,
Yeah.
and then I'll shoot you the email contact.
Because the board has heard you. We
Okay.
get it, Dre.
Is our,
But we gotta give them time to respond now, okay?
please.
Okay.
All right.
You have,
We're gonna move on.
yeah, you have Zach.
Zach
Then-
online?
Yes, and
Okay,
then
Zach.
Mo.
Zach is online waiting.
Zach?
Hi, aloha. Good evening, Chair, board members, and neighborhood residents. My name is Zachary Gibson. I'm a student leader with Serene at Kapiolani Community College, also known as Center for Resilient Neighborhoods. So this is my first neighborhood board meeting, actually, that I ever joined. So thank you for this opportunity to kind of see how these go and the opportunity to share this evening. So as many of you know, we've been working on supporting the development of an island-wide network of resilient hubs on Oahu. So I wanted to share a quick update on this. We have completed the second of 2 planning meetings and are now getting ready for our official launch in August. So we are excited to have some of you involved and are also happy to announce that the new island-wide network and learning community will be co-coordinated by both Serene and Lahui Foundation. So this will be with Dr. Miku Lenentine and Adelina Posse helping support this community-led effort. So anyone who is interested in being a part of the planning process or joining the community advisory committee and leadership team, you can actually contact Dr. Miku at miku4@hawaii.edu for more information. And then if this is your first time hearing of us or this work, also please feel free to email us at serene15@hawaii.edu or serenehawaii.org for more information.
This
So
sounds
yeah,
Yeah. Zach, could you do me a huge favor and your contact information, everything that you had mentioned, if you can drop that in the chat box?
yes, we'll
So,
do.
and disseminate all that information.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're
Mahalo
amazing.
for having us.
Much. Thank you so much, Zach. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. Next is Mo.
Go ahead, Mo.
Aloha, Mo Mohana with High Ridge Costa. I have a quick announcement, if I may. We are in partnership with the Hawaii Public Housing Authority and our development partner forum. We are going to be holding a town hall meeting for the future development of Ka'ahumanu homes. We wanted to make sure we shared that with the board. We're going to provide the board chair with this flyer to share it with other board members, inviting the board members and anybody else in attendance here at the community to join us at the town hall meeting. There's also going to be mailers that are going out to about 1,200 residents in the surrounding community to join us in the town hall meeting. We hope to come back at a later time and be agendized in front of the board to also be able to make the presentation in front of you. So that's the extent of my announcement.
Thank you so much for the invitation. Anybody
Mahalo.
else on community online?
No.
No?
Oh, you can go first.
Oh, is that directly across the Farrington High School? Or is it closer to, Kalakaua Middle? Humanu? It's on Middle?
I think it's
Or is
like
it Cameron?
It's next to, the middle school.
Yeah, we
It's
can-
adjacent to Kamehameha Homes, which is across the street from Farrington.
Did we share the
And you-
map? You can share a map if you'd like to.
Maybe the map would be helpful. Yeah.
1 second.
Thank you.
Here we go. Can you see my screen?
My McDonald's white.
No, we don't see your screen
Oh, I
yet.
gotta press one more button. There we go.
There you go.
Let me get this out of the way. So kahumano home right here.
Something like that. Yeah.
And here's,
Oh,
okay,
Okay.
okay, got it.
okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, and we'll be
Clarification.
sending the flyer, and we look forward to having you join us, and we look forward to presenting in front of you next time.
Fantastic. Next month, hopefully.
Wow.
I'll get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. I have a community concern. I toured OCCC, within OCCC. I was able to see the cells, the workspaces, the staffing levels, and how the inmates actually live day by day in the different cells, Annex 1, Annex 2, solitary confinement, the infirmary, their cafeteria. I understand that OCCC will be moving. And however, sometimes we may think, or the powers that be may not want to give them any budget in order to make the improvements. However, there's staff that is severely overworked, understaffed, and there's inmates in there that need to have air conditioning because it's like an oven. It's so hot nowadays, and there's certain parts of that prison, that jail, that doesn't have any air circulation, but hot air. Now, we want to have rehabilitation, and they're doing their time. However, it is cruel and unusual punishment to allow people, whether it's workers or even inmates, to live in such abysmal situation, especially in the infirmary, for those that are sick, for those that have some illness that they cannot control. The nursing and staffing personnel that is in the infirmary is also understaffed, and there's not enough beds. There never should be a time when a patient who is critically ill or has any kind of illness should be sleeping on the floor. So if Dre is listening at this moment, it's something that can be done to increase the budget, to improve the living conditions and the working conditions for OCCC staff and also for the inmates, and something that can be reasonable for everyone. Because although we know OCCC will be moving, in the meantime, they are all suffering. That's all I have to say. Evelyn?
I have a community concern as well. This is on Nimitz Highway as well as Libby and Awiki Street. At least 3 to 4 days of the week, it turns into personal parking space for young brothers. So one lane on Nimitz Highway is a parking lot with all of these gigantic semi trucks. I've been calling HPD, but it's really not HPD's job. I propose that maybe the state can do something in terms of partnering with Young Brothers, because really it's a private entity and they have to provide space for their customers. But on Libby Street, maybe during certain times of the day, no parking is allowed, as well as for Awiki Street. Because once Amazon takes in effect, there's going to be a lot of big semi trucks going in both directions, and there's a lot of near misses where these trucks are wider than the streets, especially on Awiki Street. And I've seen several near misses, which could include myself, one of them with a semi truck. So maybe on Awiki Street, no parking on the right-hand side. Because Young Brothers do use that as a holding cell for semi trucks entering their back gate, as well as Nimitz Highway. I've taken a lot of video footage of that as well. Again, I know it's a huge state concern. I know that the Kalihi-Pālama container terminal is in the works, but I've been noticing there's so much traffic, and it just doesn't stop in an hour. It goes from like maybe 6:30 in the morning to well past 2:30 in the afternoon. One lane on Nimitz is considered a parking lot. Thank you. So Dre, maybe you can help with that.
Noted, thank you.
And one more thing, Dre, I'm sorry, one more thing. Also for the police officers and for corrections officers that are, again, they're all short-staffed, they're all overworked, they're all doing the best that they can with the staffing that they have. For certain districts and certain areas carry more responsibility than others. can there also be a bonus in pay or some kind of percentage to increase and to give them some moral boost for certain areas that they know they're gonna work hard, they know that they're gonna face some opposition, right? So can we do that for the corrections officers and can we do that for HP? That's just a request, if that's possible.
I have that noted also. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other concerns, questions? Ken?
I just wanted to echo what I was mentioning about because of the amount of traffic that's gonna be for that area. I do believe that that's still within, I don't know if it's still within Harbors, Oiki Street that's on there, and San Helen Access Road. But some where the planning aspects of, I'm gonna use the NTO because that's the planning arm for stuff like this. That you guys, Amazon kind of work in terms of getting whatever money that can be, because those roads are gonna be torn up, I'm pretty sure, with the amount of traffic beyond what is right now. So that's just something to kind of think about, plan for, and expect.
Yep.
Just quick, the Jacoan Buddhist temple, the Buddhist temple across from Camp Shopping Center, the white building, they have a bond dance. So I'm telling people that it is there and it is fun. It is from 5 o'clock to I think 9 or 10. Parking should be at Kalihi-Pālama Elementary.
When? What day?
Oh, Saturday. This Saturday, is that the 20th or the?
20th.
That's 20th, yeah.
All right. Yeah, please come. There's andagi.
Nice.
Yeah.
Andagi?
Andagi.
Oh, I'm sold. Okay, anybody else from the board? Any questions? Anybody from the community?
No, that's.
Okay, thank you so much. We're moving along. The next is U.S. Army Garrison Hawaii Military Report. Selena?
Hi.
Yes. 3 minutes.
Okay. So our next hiring is August 20th at Halimono Military Reservation Training Room. It starts at 8:30 and it's at 2 p.m. open to the public. Provisional hiring for the day will be offered. Please bring 2 references, proof of ID, social security card, and a resume. All of our training currently is happening on Schofield Barracks. Last month there was training over at Tripler Army Medical Center. I don't know if anybody would have seen or heard, but they had their mass casualty exercise. And that would have been presented here, except that, was it, are we set?
Yeah, it was recess.
And so for us, only training happening on Schofield and East Range. And then last announcement, our draft environmental impact statement for Army training land retention. All public meetings have closed, but we are still continuing to accept public comments for the remainder of the 60-day public review, which will end August 7th. So if you still want to make a comment, you're more than welcome to do so and there's several websites, but if you just Google Oahu Army EIS, the first link that should pop up is the project website link, and you can just make a comment there. And if there's any questions regarding that, you can call 808-787-2140.
Excellent.
And if there's any concerns for the community, you can call us at 877-1528. And that's all I have.
1528. Perfect. Any questions from the board? Any questions online? Any questions from the community? No. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you next month. Here, we move along to state elected officials, 3 minutes each. Carl Rhodes.
Hi, JESSIEFAIGE. I'm with the Office of Senator Carl Rhodes. Both Senator and Office Manager Glenn Young, who you often see, are not available tonight. So I'm happy to be here and see some familiar faces. On the issue of feral chickens at the school, I took note of that. We can try to help coordinate with Dre. I'm very curious about how that's handled. My suspicion is, like Dre, that it's probably a DOE issue in looking at their policies. I know for city properties, the city has a program, and we often hear in our office, we receive complaints about feral chickens on private property, and at times Senator is able to use some of his state legislative funds to help for private property issues. So if that comes up, please let us know. We have a system for that, but we will certainly help what we can on the feral chickens at schools and that nearby park concern. Senator wanted to note that some good news, some money was awarded to the Lanakila Multipurpose Senior Center. They received a grant and aid from the state for $100,000, which I believe was their full ask. So that's exciting to help them move forward with their work. And tying into the earlier discussion about the mask resolution, Senator wants to remind again folks about COVID and other viruses that are prevalent in the community. He notes that the Department of Health reported 937 new COVID cases within the past week, with a 7-day average of 135 cases and unfortunately 6 deaths that occurred. So we encourage everyone to stay up to date on COVID shots as well as flu shots. And then, of course, there's the RSV virus out there, and there's a vaccine targeted toward folks that are 60 and over. So encourage folks to do what they can to stay healthy and protected. Also took interest in the gambling comments that were made earlier, and Senator shares that concern about gambling establishments in the community. It is unfortunately an ongoing issue. One pops up, gets addressed, and then there's another one. Enforcement, of course, is key, so that see something, say something comments from law enforcement that applies here. Please let them know if you become aware of an establishment in the community. And, you know, and again, along the lines of enforcement, we do what we can to support both HPD and the prosecutor's office. This past session, the Honolulu prosecutor's office introduced a bill to help them better enforce against building owners, make them more accountable for what's happening on their property. That bill was SB 2197. Senator heard it and passed it out of his committee, and it was recently signed by the governor as Act 249. So doing what we can to move that along, but please let us know if there's something more that you're aware of, as well as letting HPD know. And I think that's it. Please call the office, 808-586-6130 if we can be of assistance, and I'm around for questions.
I have a question. Were serious
Yes,
crimes, serious assaults, as is inclusive of sex assault 1, charge 1, level 1, sex assault 1 and 2, and sometimes 3. Are there any guidelines and parameters of which the prosecutor's office will not engage with a plea deal when there is evidence of a sex assault 1 or an assault 1 occurring? I'm not quite sure if there is a guideline, and if you can take a look at that. I'm not expecting you to have an answer with that right now.
I don't know. I don't know offhand. Is there something you've heard that makes you think that the current system is not working well?
Yeah, and that of which I can share offline.
Okay. Do you still have my email, Amanda, or should I? I'll send you an email. How about after the meeting?
Fantastic. We're
And then
gonna
we can
share a
follow
little
up
bit.
directly on that.
Yes. Now, for the 3 misdemeanors, is that within 3 years or 5 years for 3 misdemeanors that will result in a felony?
You talk about the habitual property crime bill? I mean, the habitual offender bill?
Yes, it was originally the habitual property offense, and now it kind of segued into assaults, which does happen, right? And then they go in and out of prison, jail, wherever the powers that may be, and they reoffend, and they keep on reoffending, keep on reinstituting harm against innocent people. Now, I think there is a bill, and if you want to get back to me about that too.
There is.
Right, okay, I'll let you finish.
Right. The habitual property crime law, that's still on the books. I'm looking quickly for the number. This session, there was an additional law, habitual violent crimes. So it's certain violent crimes, which would include many of those offenses you're talking about, that also went through the legislature and was recently signed by the governor. It's SB 2347, and it is Act 213. So similar to the property crime, if you've committed several crimes in the past, here it's three crimes within 5 years of this new offense that are violent misdemeanors or felonies, then you can additionally be charged as a habitual violent crime offender and subject with a felony offense, Class C felony.
Class C
So
felony by itself.
that's one way to try to address folks who unfortunately are repeatedly engaging in this behavior.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that information. Offline. Any questions from the community?
Wonderful.
Oh, Angela, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, aloha. Good
Hi,
to see you.
Angela.
Hey, Jesse. So in 2019, the city operated a pilot program with the Hawaiian Humane Society to provide free trap and neuter services called the Feline Fix Program. And then in 2023, I think the office did a bill relating to spay and neutering funds to create a special fund to manage the aggressive predatory cats with an appropriation of funds. So while we're discussing invasive species, feral chickens, feral cat, and animal welfare concerns, it's really good to hear that there are funds that can be provided.
For feral chickens, there's a limited amount of funds that Senator has been able to use for feral chickens that are disturbing community residents.
So it cannot be.
I don't know about the city program with Humane Society, unfortunately.
Okay. So then we can't use the funds for the feral cats or other invasive species.
This is his very small legislative allowance that he's been trying to use to help in the community. On a larger approach, there have been a number of bills in funding. Some of it went to Department of Agriculture, some of it was reduced by the governor as sort of a cost-cutting measure to help address a wide variety of invasive species that are going on in the state.
Okay, and then there's also the new biosecurity bill.
Oh, it's sorry.
Time.
Yeah, it's been 30.
Thank you so much. I don't think there's any community questions.
I don't see.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening. See you next month. And next, Senator Donna Mercado Kim.
Hi, I'm Ori. I'm Senator Donna Mercado Kim's office manager. I'm here on her behalf. The community bulletin for summer 2024 has been mailed out. If you didn't receive a copy, please reach out to our office by phone or email. The July 2024 community report has been digitally sent to Chair and the Kalihi-Pālama Neighborhood Board members. Community members that are attending virtually can also send their email for a copy of the CB to Senator Kim's office. Senator Kim's bills that were introduced this session that were signed by the governor would be SB 2234 relating to noise. It makes it unlawful for any person to operate a weed whacker in or within 100 feet of a residential zone except between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. on any day except Sunday or state or federal holidays, and between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. on Sunday or any state or federal holidays. This mirrors the current leaf blower law. Another bill that was signed by the governor this session would be SB 2401 relating to feral chickens. This would require the Department of Agriculture to work with the county to implement feral chicken control programs and feeding feral animal education campaigns. It requires each county to match the funds expended by the Department of Agriculture for the implementation of feral chicken control program and feeding of feral animals education campaign in the county. Another community update, the state is opening 2 more public preschool classrooms in our district this coming August. Lanakila Elementary School and Red Hill Elementary School will join Fern and Ka'ewae that opened last year. The preschool is free and will seat up to 23 to 4-year-olds this coming August for the upcoming school year 2024 to 2025. Senator Kim is pleased to work with Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Luke on the state's Ready Keiki initiative to increase early learning opportunities in our district. Expanding access to preschools is important not only to set up our keiki for our success, but to also support our community's families and working parents. Families wishing to enroll their keiki can apply and learn more through the state's Executive Office on Early Learning Act. That's it.
Yeah, so, whichever.
Okay, and then that's it. If there's any questions.
Any questions from the board? Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Angela.
Yeah, well, now we have the biosecurity bill for the feral chickens. Can they also replicate that for cats?
I don't believe so.
To get, oh.
It just
So all-
specifically chickens, yes.
Okay, so as a public nuisance concern, what is more concerning, the feral chickens or the feral cats? Because the they're very aggressive, like male cats that are very predatory towards like little kittens. One little kitten can get pregnant 3 times in 1 year, and a pregnancy period is 3 months for kittens, with 15 kittens in 1 litter. So if we're enabling the community to trap chickens, there should also be a humane management strategy to cats. My point.
I understand your concerns, Angela. Thank you. I'm not sure exactly the right answer. I will take your concerns to Senator and we'll get back to you next meeting with a response.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure we'll hear about it next year. So.
You have 8, so.
Okay. I'm sorry, Chris.
Sorry.
We were having our question.
Sorry, you're having that.
Any questions from the community?
I don't see.
No, thank you so much, Ori.
Thank you for
See
having
you
me.
next. Thank you. See you next month. Senator Glenn McKay.
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay,
not
okay.
yet.
Daniel Holt, representative for Daniel Holt. Not here, representative for Sunny Ganigan.
I don't see it.
No, okay. Governor Josh Green's representative, Drake.
Oh, yeah.
Finished. I think we're
No.
finished.
No, that's his report.
Okay.
Yes, so I just put in the chat Governor's July newsletter. In it, he highlights a recap of FestPac, as well as some key highlights for bill signings, and announces the search for the UH president. I have noted all the community concerns that relate to the state, and we'll go follow up and come back with an answer. I would like to point out, though, to Evelyn's concerns about traffic on Owiki Street and Nimitz. That is something that actually my department works on. I'm Department of Transportation, specifically harbors. So we are happy to look at some modifications and working with the City and County of Honolulu on the management of Owiki Street for safety in traffic and everything. And maybe in a couple of months, as we near the completion of the Kalihi-Pālama container terminal, we can do a presentation from DOT about how we expect certain traffic patterns to change once the new terminal opens, because there will be an interior connector road so that all the trucks that, well, I would say a large portion of trucks that now have to travel from Sen Island to Young Brothers are now going to have an interior road connecting directly from Kalihi-Pālama container terminal. So you won't see a lot of trucks. I would also recommend that when the Amazon representatives come to next month's meeting, maybe in advance, the neighborhood board can make a request for them to explain the traffic patterns. This is something that they have presented to us at Department of Transportation. I don't want to speak for them and relay that to you, and maybe I get it wrong, but I recommend that the neighborhood board ask Amazon to describe what the traffic patterns are for the trucks that come from the airport to the delivery center, and then the trucks that are going to deliver the packages from that center out to the community. So I think that'll help address some of the concerns that I heard raised earlier this evening. But I also, just going back to the traffic around the Young Brothers terminal, it is something that we are concerned with. It is something that we are discussing actively with Young Brothers. And I think we might have a solution in development. And so as we reach solution, I'm happy to bring that back, and maybe we'll encourage Young Brothers to make a presentation to neighborhood board.
Fantastic, Dre. Thank you so much. And I will do Amazon with your suggestions. I appreciate you. One more thing before I
Yes.
let you go. Sand Island is such a beautiful place. It is underutilized, but there's so much potential. So can the governor, powers that be, again, creative and look for some beautifications for that area to have people go there? Because when you go to Magic Island, Alamoana Beach Park, there's nothing that people don't want to do there. There's so many activities and it's welcoming. What can we do? What can the state do to create some kind of place in Sand Island to bring some life back into it?
Yeah.
Just
Can
just a suggestion.
Can I
for
just
that.
ask clarification? Do you mean Sun Island Park?
Sand Island Park, yeah. And
Okay.
in and around the area, like the canoe, where the canoe paddlers go, baseball, surfers, fishermen, there's a whole area, that whole surrounding area. And the bathroom needs to always get renovated too, because that's becoming an ongoing septic tank issue.
Sure. I will circle back with Department of Land and Natural Resources, because if that park is under their jurisdiction, and we'll see what plans they may have for the park. Happy to do that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dre. And then one more from the.
Hi, Dre, sorry, I have a quick question and a comment, totally irrelevant, but it's just popping in my mind. Who's in charge of making those signs, the electric traffic signs? Like, how do you guys choose the sayings that go on there?
Oh, good question. So that is our Public Affairs Office. There are some parameters as to what can and cannot be displayed on the message. So obviously, if it is directing drivers away from traffic or announcing a detour or announcing a road closure, that is within bounds. Other messages that you may see are intended to remind drivers to drive safely or to not drive under the influence. We are actually prohibited by the Federal Highways Administration from certain messaging. But did you have a specific question of them?
I just have a comment about just looking at the generation now, they also saying, are put up that when drinking and driving is not the vibe, hilarious. That just goes to show that Gen Z is entering the chat and are not getting involved, and I enjoy it, really. But it goes to show that the young ones are actually listening and trying to make a difference. So.
I will
kudos to Gen Z.
relay that to our Public Affairs
Gen
Office.
Z.
Thank you.
Gen Z. Okay, thank you so much, Dre.
Question.
Yeah, Angela.
Hello, Dre. Yeah, so I was just wondering about BestPac. So it was very fascinating to see the tribal practices of those international diplomatic groups. They have an obsession with like wood carving, and then their culture centers around wood carving and music. So cultures are very similar to Hawaiian culture practices. So are there going to be plans to encourage more of that, like cultural practice? Because this is just so strengthening towards building diplomatic relations.
Good question. I don't want to speak for the FestPac organizers, but it is an event that happens every 4 years and then it rotates. So if the question is, will we be hosting FestPac anytime soon? The answer is unlikely. But the cultural practices that I think were on display and demonstrated and performed occur all the time in Hawaii. And I think there are different cultural groups from different islands across the Pacific that have a presence here in our islands. And so it's a matter of reaching out to them to, either engage with them or see when they're doing performances or what have you. But I am aware that there were gatherings of traditional leaders from across the Pacific. There were declarations that were signed. And so I think that diplomatic function and ceremony that took place during FestPac is intended to continue, but I couldn't speak to what the public might expect to see emerge from the seeds that were planted during FestPac.
So yeah, we probably want to see more music and wood carving. So that'd be great. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much, Dre.
Thank
See
you.
you next month. I look forward
Sure.
to your response. Now for city elected officials, 3 minutes each. Mayor Rick Blangiardi's representative, Deputy Director Stephen Courtney.
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you so much for
Alright.
your patience.
Okay, yeah, great. Yeah, good evening, Chair, members of the Kalihi-Pālama Neighborhood Board and residents. My name is Stephen Courtney, the Mayor's representative and Deputy Director for the Department of Information Technology. I will start with highlights from the Mayor's newsletter from July. A link is provided in the chat. The Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture, also known as FestPAC, the world's largest cultural gathering of Pacific Island nations, came to Honolulu June 6th to June 18th. With eyes on future recreational uses, the city takes over ownership of 400 acres of former Navy land in Kalihi-Pālama. The city opens a new facility to help homeless individuals suffering from wounds or illnesses get off the streets. Leahi Behavioral and Medical Respite Center opens near Diamond Head. Mayor Blangiardi and city officials kick off a project to install a canopy of thousands of solar panels atop the Blaisdell Center parking structure. And Skyline, the city's rail transit system, celebrates its first year in operation and welcomes aboard its 1 millionth ride. From the Department of Parks and Recreation Summer Fund, the Department of Parks and Recreation is still looking for plenty of staff to help with the fun and summer fun. These jobs are an excellent way to gain experience in the childcare field while earning a minimum of $16 per hour in a dynamic work environment with dozens of program sites around Oahu. The link is provided in the chat. I have follow-ups in regards to 2 departmental issues. Illegal dumping. Member Pohana raised concerns regarding illegal dumping along Aoki Street and on Paukea Street between Silva Street and Kahai Street, I should say. Sorry. An environmental services inspector visited the location on May 31st and found a lot of bulky appliances, construction materials, and household trash in the area. Department of Facilities Maintenance was emailed requesting assistance to remove all the items. Should you have any other questions or concerns, please call Mr. Chris Gourlay, Collection Administrator with Environmental Services Refuse Division. He can be reached at 808-768-3407. Abandoned vehicles. Member Pohana raised concerns regarding abandoned vehicles and commercial vehicles parked along Libby Street and Aoki Street in the Kalihi area neighborhood below Nimitz Highway going towards Sand Island. An inspector was tasked to survey the area and to identify vehicles that appear to fit the description of an abandoned vehicle. The inspector opened complaints on 29 vehicles in the vicinity of Aoki Street and Libby Street. All vehicles were removed during the period from May 22nd to May 29th. That completes my report. Are there any questions?
I do, Stephen.
Yes.
For the Kapalama Canal, now there's 2 different parts to Kapalama Canal. I'm talking specifically from Hoftailing to the freeway. And in that area of Kapalama Canal, vegetation is overgrowing, and I'm concerned because if there's heavy rains, if there's a storm, we don't want those things to happen. Unfortunately, there's so much overgrowth. There would be some kind of blockage happening, and that would be devastating to the community and to the people in that on the area, yours included, me included. So can something happen, something like scheduled to clean up the canal? The green growth, the overgrowth is just tremendously, it's out of control.
Okay, yeah, the best I can do is forward this request on to, I believe that would be Department of Facilities Maintenance, but I will,
Okay.
I can pass that on. And again, so that's Kapalama Canal from Hoftailing.
Yes, and that's from Hoftailing to the freeway, that
freeway.
stretch of Kapalama Canal, severely, yeah,
Okay.
it needs to be addressed. Other community constituents have reached out to me, so I'm just we're all in agreement on something needs to happen to clear it out already.
Okay, I will pass that concern on.
Thank you so much, Stephen. That's all for me. Anybody else? Any questions? Angela?
Aloha, Stephen,
Yep.
Angela, yeah. Yeah, so we walked with, the mayor, Blanchard, and I for the community policing team training, so it was really nice when the groups that work together are so organized, and are activating things for the community and know what resources, can help with community concerns, so, yeah.
Is there a question for Stephen?
More activating the neighborhood security walks.
Well, again, the mayor is concerned about to make sure in regards to public safety. So again, I would work with Honolulu Police Department in regards to establishing neighborhood security watches. I mean, because that is that is something that can be utilized among the residents to ensure that crime can be reduced.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I have one more, Stephen. I'm sorry, and I'll let you go after. And I mentioned this to Dre. I'm going to mention it to you too for good measure. Is there
Okay.
any possible way for HPD officers? We all know they're understaffed. They work very hard. There's certain districts that require more time and energy and efforts from those. And is there kind of like an incentive to work in certain districts that there's an increase like 5% or 10% if they work in certain districts at certain hours, if that can be done for as an incentive for the officers?
Okay, I'll pass that along. I mean, the only other, I do know there is some incentive out there, but that's in regards to hiring police officers and the new police officers. There's a $25,000 sign-on bonus that's in place. So, but that's the only incentive that I'm aware of right now currently.
Yeah, if we can have one that incentivizes officers to work that extra 16 hours, God forbid. But
Yes.
the need is there, the need is there. So if there's something that can incentivize officers to work that 16-hour shift back to back, that would be really helpful. The certain districts, truly your own, Urban Core Honolulu, and certain other districts, I need that special tender loving attention also for Waianae. We appreciate
Okay.
Like hazard pay.
Like it's like a hazard. Thank you. Dios is on point. It's like a hazard. Lack of better terms, but all inclusive of, yeah? Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much, Stephen. If you can get back to us, that would be tremendous. Tremendous.
Yes, I will.
And then, Deputy, I do have two concerns that was emailed to me, so I'll add it to the report and then for your review as well.
Okay.
I think that's about all. Thank you so much, Stephen. Have a good evening. Thank you for your patience.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, and then City Council Member Rady Cordero, or Representative.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. It's Radiant here. Hi. Hi. Hello?
Hi, thank you for your patience.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you all. And I'm excited to see next month who the officers' elections and everything. And I think it's great that you've all continued to serve. And thank you very much. Well, first off, I do want to allow me the opportunity to share screen. I don't know if I'm allowed to. Hang on.
Yes, you
Oh,
can.
shucks. Okay, let me try again. One moment. I know we're over time. Just trying to allow me the opportunity to share. Okay, hang on. I have to put in my password to allow myself this. Shucks. Okay, you know what? Do you all have my report in front of you?
We have your report.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, normally I like to go share the screen and go over it with you all, but thank you so much. First off, I would like to address the calendar events on my first page. You can see there the next week is committee week. I do want to share that throughout the report that you will see a few updates on the budget that we just passed out in the first week of June. But also what I do want to highlight are a few things directly affecting our community. First off, Wynant, a street that is right across from Farrington High School. We are working with our neighbors, and I want to say thank you to the neighbors who have been amazing community partners. So first off, there was an issue that we were looking at and determined there was an easement that the city environmental services needed to take care of. With the community. Oh, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sorry. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I thought you were talking to me. Okay, just interrupt me anytime if you need to ask me for anything for clarification. Okay, so first up, want to mahalo our Department of Facility Maintenance and our community for bringing something up for us to look into. We found out there was an easement that needed to be taken care of. Along with our community, we informed our neighbors that any needed to be removed, and they're working on it. And further, we understand that the chair and other neighborhood board members talked about the Kalihi-Pālama canal. The canal has been cleaned up a few times in the beginning of the year. We know that it continues to have overgrowth, but also trash left, especially around the business areas. So I definitely understand that. I want to say mahalo to our Department of Facility Maintenance again, and also our Honolulu Police Department, who have been working to care for debris, but once again, it's an ongoing issue. And so I take the request for that was directed to Deputy Director Courtney for maintenance, and maybe we'll see what we can look at moving forward. As the last cleanup was in the beginning of the quarter, or actually close to the beginning of summertime. So we'll look at it, we'll work with the board like we did last time, and look forward to doing something together, yeah? Also, I mentioned different budgets throughout the report. Next up, once again, my partner in Kalihi, Councilmember Dos Santos Tam, and maybe Lynn can touch base on this more, but we are having the rules for the program for the Transit Construction Mitigation Fund. I want to mahalo this neighborhood board for being strong advocates for the businesses in Kalihi-Pālama to get support through this Transit Construction Mitigation Fund. This is a huge step to getting the program moved forward. So that public hearing is scheduled on Thursday, August 1. You'll see the website, you'll see all the information there on page 2. Okay, sorry, I know that I'm going over time. Next up, my district is hosting a district primary urban center development plan. I'm part of the planning and economy committee meeting along with my partner in Kalihi, Councilmember Dos Santos Tam. We are having different community committee meetings because we know that different parts of Kalihi or different parts of our district have different concerns as well. So we're taking it up in our different districts. We are having my area on Tuesday, July 30th, 2024 from 6 to 7:30 p.m. We're having the Planning and Economy Committee there. We're having the Department of Planning and Permitting there as well, and talking about the Primary Urban Center Development Plan. Once again, this is a plan that, meetings started from 2015 to 2017 and 18 and 19. I know many of the board members have joined me as residents of Kalihi back then to provide input to the plan. This is the next step after it's left the Department of Planning and Permitting. It's now the council, and another chance for the community to weigh in, feedback. Okay, so we talked about budget, and next up, I want to let you all know that, of course, we've talked about Safe Streets for All, and we've talked about the Oahu pedestrian plan. The next step in that, if I can divert your attention to where there's a map where it shows streets improvements for Kalihi, and I know Lynn can talk about the District 6 part of the district, but I want to highlight that through the infrastructure law, through the bipartisan law, through the federal government, that the Department of Transportation Services was awarded a great amount of money and funding from the Federal Surface Transportation Block Grant, and 3 areas in my district was Gulick Avenue, North King Street, to just above the just right below the freeway, and Puhali Road from Nez to Dillingham Boulevard. And I know you've heard me talk about this plan before. I know you've heard Lynn talk about this plan before. And I know we've heard it from you as neighborhood board members, especially from board member Daga, to include Beckley Street. And so luckily, through those discussions, we've been able to add Beckley Street successfully, not only to the plan, but as well to get funding. So you can see that here officially on the map there. So I'm so happy for that. Next up, I know that the DTS explained about the bus routes, and once again, I know I went over time, but I had so much I wanted to share with you all. And I just wanted to share that while I'm not a state representative or a state senator, that I do my very best in the limited capacity that my team has. And I'm here to support our community at the best of my ability, whether or not, once again, we have the resources. So I know there were concerns before, but once again, I'm at the city level. I can only do as much as I can. And I really want to thank Senator Wakai, who just came back and is helping me as well to support our neighbors. So with that, that's my report. I know that was a lot, but thank you very much for your time. And I'm here for questions.
Comment. Just wanted to say thank you for all the fighting we do for our area, especially for my street. I've been complaining for months. It's actually almost makes a year since my dog got run over my street, which is why I've been pushing for this for months. So just thank you for all the work that we do. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I want to say a huge thank you to my team. You know, from your concern to your neighbors' concerns to a lot of the students who travel on Beckley to Kalihi-Pālama to Barrington, they, you know, I'm one voice, but I have all of you behind me. And I say, hey, I'm one voice, but you guys are all behind me. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And let me just steal your thunder, Radiant. I knowed you for many years. Thank you so much for all your work for the decades that I've known you. And Joey Monahan prior to you.
Yeah, I actually was about to say, yeah, it's been almost 14 years that I've been, not 14.
14 years that I've known you.
14 years, yeah, that I've been reporting to the Kalihi-Pālama.
Very long time. Even with Joey Monahan, when I had to walk sidewalks to get him elected in the very beginning. And then you took over.
Yeah.
So congratulations to you. And
thank you.
Most importantly to our community. Now I have some things I have to mention. Because you're such a go-getter and I believe in you. So does the community. So for Gulick, there's been a few people that have reached out to me of racing or people going really fast, speeding on Gulick. And you know, there's kids, there's little kids, there's a young elementary school that is there. And here and there, you know, there's people that walk and try to do their best, like the Iwohis. For generations, they do the best that they can. You know the Iwohis.
Oh yeah, Auntie Cheryl,
right?
let's go. Yes.
Yeah, she's the best. She's the best, and they do what they can. But I'm hearing chirps about people want there to be speed bumps there. I don't know how you want to go about that. Maybe do a study, check it out, see, and talk to the community a little bit more, because that's what I'm hearing from the community is the concern for people speeding. So whatever you can do to check that out, because you were very successful near Kalakaua. And you know, of course you can't make everybody happy and some people are gonna grumble, but at the end of the day, you survive. You know, pedestrians survive. You don't want to make a mistake. You know, one life affected in an accident is one life too many. So if you can please work on that, I'm hearing chirps about that. Another thing would be the sewer, wastewater, and treatment. And the increased rates. Now, our community has a lot of kapuna, lower income, people that are just barely getting by, but they have their homes. If you can, in the meantime, get ahead of it and be creative and look for maybe different grants and different funds, so nobody's having to pay these increased rates for sewer and wastewater. So that would be good, if you can look into that too. preventive measures, so people are not having to pay $500 bill.
Oh, all right, well, okay, those are the two. Okay, so first off, I would like to address the sewer and wastewater. I'll definitely check out the rates. I definitely want to clarify first off, we're talking about the wastewater, right? We're not talking about Board of Water Supply and their ratepayers. Is that correct?
No. Yeah,
Okay.
that's correct.
Okay, thank you. I'll definitely check on that. Next up is the speed bumps. First off, I want to say, yes, work with Auntie Cheryl, with Cheryl, I should say. You know, we helped her set up the neighborhood security watch there. We did the walks. I would go out there whenever they were walking. So I want to share that we started putting funding in there before I was in my position. When I had the opportunity, thanks to all of you, to get in this position, I continued to put in funding. But you know, they wanted to see, and not an overhaul, but like, I guess a full safety approach towards Gulick. And that's why you see the funding, right? First off, this first start with the federal funding will look at all the necessary needs towards safety. And once again, you know, the department has seen the request for speed bumps. We have had the neighborhood security watch put the request for speed bumps. We had the neighborhood board do so as well. Right now, I mean, there's been rumblings, and maybe Lynn can share more if she knows anything. Unfortunately, above the freeway is now not my district, but if she has rumblings about any progress on that area, maybe there is. However, I do have hopes for our comments, for your city legislators, myself and Councilmember Dos Santos Tam, to be your voice, to provide the preliminary engineering studies with the feedback that it needs to share that, one, we need to slow people down. And that's
yes.
So know that myself, Lynn's here, she can hold me accountable. And I guess, yeah, Trisha's on here too. They'll both hold me accountable for saying that we will make sure to have our voices heard. And you know what? Councilmember Dos Santos Tam is the transportation chair, and we have a great opportunity there as well. So sorry, Lynn, to put him on the spot, but he is transportation chair. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Radian. Good job.
Thank you.
Always a good job.
Oh,
Do you have any questions?
oh, just wanted to say thank you to your office and all your office workers. Okay, that's right.
Okay. Thank you so much, Radian, and thank you so much. Okay, Angela, go
I have
ahead.
a great team.
Oh, sorry, one more, Radian. Oh,
I have one last question. Are you still there?
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead, Angela.
I'm
go
just
talk.
trying to hear. I'm just trying to hear. Go ahead.
Yeah, so for the speed bumps, in Kapalama Elementary School and the Bishop Museum, we have a similar concern. And the office was very helpful to provide options. So when there are people within a community that have similar concerns, right? It's good to work together. And also, our community was really concerned with the traffic noise because the noise affects the students, causes high blood pressure and health concerns. Yeah, we're really thankful for the work that you did with our neighborhood security bot. And if there are like ways that we can help with your concerns.
Radian.
Oh,
Yeah, I already.
You asked Tyler for that section. It's
Yeah.
area.
That's, yeah. I think, Radiant, you're good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Radiant.
We're gonna move
Wait,
along.
can I address that? Sorry, Chair. May I address that really
Yes.
fast? First off,
Yeah.
yes, Angela was a part of my district for the first year and a half. I do want to share that we did work together on the neighborhood security watch. We did work together on making the requests. I have received updates from the Department of Transportation Services, which I think maybe Lynn may have, or Councilmember Dos Santos Tam has, and I think actually Angela may have about the updates to Kalihi-Pālama area by Bishop Museum. So first off, you know, it was great teamwork with both myself and Councilmember Dos Santos Tam, and that's all I can say. And we look forward to the speed mitigation implementations close to Bishop Museum. That will be coming
Thank you
soon.
so much for working. Thank you so much for working for the community and the registered voters and all the constituents in the community. You have worked so hard and continue to work so hard with grace. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. Oh, no, bye. I'll be here. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sorry, it's getting late. Councilmember Tyler Dos Santos? De Los Santos?
Aloha, Chair. Can you hear me okay? This is Lynn Robinson for council member.
Hello, Lynn. I'm sorry. Thank you for your patience. I know it's late.
Oh, no, no worries. But goodness gracious, Councilmember Cordero is a tough act to follow. I just do want to kind of piggyback on what she said. It is an absolute pleasure, and our two offices we are cohesive, work together, and sometimes that's super, super helpful. So I appreciate all those shout outs. I'm going to be brief. I do want to circle back about Kapalama Canal. We so what would that have been back in June? We kind of talked about having some issues. We had constituents reach out specifically about the overgrowth and clogging in the stream between Kokea and Kohouse Street. So that was one riser that was put in. They went in, they cleared it out. This is very good news that DFM is being this responsive. In that riser, I just said, and while you're at it, can you just, clear out the rest of the stream? So I didn't want to interrupt Stephen's report, but we do have a service request number that's been initiated for the clearing of basically the whole canal. So, Stephen, if you're listening and you might be able to elevate this, that service number is 57112 with the Department of Facility Maintenance. And we can use, it's a top of mind issue and understandably a grave concern. The City Council has passed Resolution 24-143 to create a task force to crack down on illegal game rooms. So I know that this is another issue that's top of mind, so I wanted to be sure and include it in my report. We've got several bills, but this task force will develop solutions to improve enforcement and legal measures to address the issue. The task force effort builds upon the bills that we've already had, that 57 and 58, which Councilmember Dos Santos Tam introduced last year to help address the game room problem. So it's a multi-pronged approach. I think we already heard Jesse say that the state is also going a long way to hold landlords accountable for what goes on in their properties. So we're excited about the task force. I have put Councilmember Dos Santos Tam the link to his newsletter for July and all of his newsletters in the chat, as well as my contact information. I don't know that we have anything else except for that we know that there's some speed mitigation measures coming around the museum. But if we need super specific details, I'd be happy to go back and try to find them. Usually what we're told is that those things will be implemented when resources are available. So it's kind of a broad messaging. I don't think I have anything else. Unless anyone has questions for me.
I have a few comments in that. I lived my whole entire life, 45 plus years, and I'm the youngest. The oldest in this generation that's still alive is 85. But that being said, Bishop Museum is the safest area in Kalihi, I consider it to be. And so does a lot of my residents and family that's been here for generations after generations. So thank you so much for making it maybe even safer. However, if you can please work on the Gulick area, that would be great, because not only is there speeding and crime and all kind of sorts of things, but there's also those game rooms. But the game rooms are more towards the factory waterhouse side of Gulick. Are there game rooms in the residential area? Yeah, there are. Everybody talks to me. I walked that neighborhood for decades. So please reach out to the Wolfies. I think Radiant had it right on key. But although that whole entire strip of Gulick, there's many opportunities to do some real good for the community. So please help out in that area.
Sure. I can absolutely. So we're talking above the Free Bay. That's what would be in Councilmember Dos Santos Tam's district. I can absolutely ask for enforcement out there. I don't know in a thorough way like that if they would, do anything like speed bumps. But in the request that we put in, we just asked for a traffic study and to look at all possible speed mitigation measures. In the meantime, get
Fantastic.
enforcement. Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no problem.
Especially by the
Happy to do
school,
it.
especially by the school. That is something that the residents have been reaching out to me, and I've been meaning to mention it. I'm so sorry, but the last time that we spoke, we couldn't hear each other. So I wanted
Yeah.
to make sure that good measure for the community to know that their concern is being voiced.
Thank you, Chair. I really want to encourage anyone to actively call. And I know that you don't want to be humbug, but all of HPD always says to call when you see it happening. And they're much, much more likely to make more patrols out there, to have more enforcement out there, the more calls that you get. So don't think about it like, oh, I called and they already sped by. Think about it happened again at this time of night, or, right, this time early in the morning. Or please call if you can. Also, if we have, they're very responsive, but I do get some comments about having a hard time reaching them for non-emergencies or other feedback. Feel free to call our office anytime. I'm here to help, to be a bridge to any department, to include HPD for speed enforcement. Also, please call if you have suspected game rooms. If you see activity that seems to be out of the norm at odd times of the day, and people coming and going and cameras all over the dwelling, please give us a call. We're working very, very closely with Narco Vice, and they're going out. They're inspecting, and we're hearing back from them usually within a week to 10 days. And if they will confirm whether or not it's a game room, and they'll gather the evidence that they need and get their warrants together. And then moving forward, we'll just try to have even better protections, better legislation, so that we can further enforce.
Thank you for shedding the light on the situation. It gives people hope.
My pleasure. Don't hesitate to give us a call.
Thank you so much, Jen. Angela?
Aloha. This is
Anybody else have
Gwen.
any questions?
Hi, Angela.
Hey, so it looks like in the newsletter, there's a resource that cleans up canals and streams and rivers. That's very helpful to the community. The Department of Facility Maintenance and Stormwater Quality Division, the Clean Water Bureau. So,
I'm sorry, is the question to me?
No.
Or is it to her? Because you're looking at me. I'm sorry. Okay.
So that's a really good resource to activate. It looks like in the newsletter, the community policing team works with the Clean Water Bureaus to clean up the community. So just a comment that if there could be more opportunities like that, that'd be really nice. Community.
Thanks, Angela. Actually, Councilmember Cordero has worked with the Clean Water folks and done some phenomenal cleanups of the canal. And Yeah, with an amazing turnout. And I think that they're ongoing, right? Are you doing, I think that they might be quarterly. So that's already in place. And then all I did was I just submitted a riser and reminded the Department of Facility Maintenance that they're supposed to be doing this regularly and that we have many community concerns about the clogging and the trash in the canal. So, but feel free to use any of those resources that are in the newsletter, and thanks for pointing that out.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Angela. Okay, so we're gonna table the vote. Thank you so much, Lynn. Thank you so much for your patience. I know it's late. You're amazing.
Aloha, mahalo.
Mahalo. And then for the election of board officers, we're gonna table that. We do not have quorum. So we're gonna go straight to the announcements. The next Kalihi-Pālama Neighborhood Board number 15 meeting is scheduled to be on Wednesday, August 21st, 2024 at 7 p.m. Kalihi-Pālama Neighborhood Board number 15 recordings can be seen on Olelo, channel 49, or at www.olelo.org/live at the following times: first Monday of each month at 9 p.m. and second and fourth Thursday of each month at 11 a.m. Meeting.
We should have named the meetings.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Radiant.
Thank you. Bye. Be safe.
Bye.